wanted to jump on here today and kind of do a breakdown. I have 8 of these vintage Reader's Digests that are fabulous covers. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. And I want to break them down. By break them down means I want to gut them and then secure my spines and just kind of prepare them, get them ready to create some journals out of them. Some of them are pretty fragile. So again, we'll be reinforcing some spines. And so yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to start with. This is not going to be an official tutorial, but it's kind of a tutorial to show you. I'm going to show you kind of how I break them down, how I reinforce them, and all that good stuff. Got a new blade on my knife. Got my tape. Got my scissors. Just trying to make sure I have everything. My glue handy. Everything I need, so I don't have to get up and dilly-dallying around. Get some cardboard. Yeah, I think this is good. This gets me going. So, first things first. Again, I've got 8 of these, so I'm just going to kind of start with one and kind of go through my process, walk through my process, and kind of show you what I'm doing. And if I get one done, that's great. If I get all 8 of them done, that's great too. So it's kind of like a create with me, but it's kind of like a let's do this together kind of thing. So yeah. And let me just preface this by saying I'm no professional. I am learning as I go with a lot of this stuff. So first this spine is already kind of cracked and busted, unfortunately. Make sure you guys are in frame. Okay. Oh, bump you around here. I'll try to keep you in frame, but, okay, let's see here. Yeah, so this one, particular one, our spine is already busted. Again, these are kind of crunchy. Kind of fragile, but we are going to work with them. I'm going to set all the goods, I say the goods, mostly to me when it comes to books and vintage books, the covers are my goods. But, you know, these flat pages are really pretty. So I'm just going to set these aside for now. I'm actually going to toss them on the floor for now because I'm not going to do anything with these today. We're just going to mainly focus on this. Now, this guy, I wonder, yeah, he's cracked all the way through. So I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to remove this spine. Set that aside for funsies, even though it is kind of crunchy, so I don't know. I'm just going to, on this one, I'm going to trim up the, I hate to tear that off with the green. That was not a ruler shell, that was scissors. I'm just going to kind of clean this one up. I'm not going to add a spine or anything like that because, you know, when it comes to time to use this, I may want a smaller or I may want a different size spine. So I'm just going to kind of clean this one up, set him aside, and move on. Let's That's going to be my plan right now. I could easily make him a spine, but it's always kind of fun to have the ability to make it however we want it. So we'll set that one aside and move on to the next one, and hopefully he's got a little crack too. Oh, yeah, see. So we may just be doing new spines for everybody. That's going to throw a little kink in my plan. But, you know, that's how it works sometimes. You just kind of go with what we have. Okay. These are my guts. I'm going to set them aside. And then I have these two. And I guess if I end up just having the covers, then I guess I'll make some spines. But that's not my intention. This one's kind of cracked too. Yep. So it's a good thing I only paid $1 for these guys. So I mean I'm still cool, not upset. You know, sometimes that happens. Pop these off. I guess I'll make some bookmarks or something out of these things. They're gonna have to be reinforced because they're kind of crunchy. Insides I'll set aside. Yeah, see, again, I'm still not upset because these are some really pretty covers. So, and, you know, I'm good with okay, this one seems to be intact. Good deal. Okay. Ooh, but he's crunchy when you open him. That is the joy of working with the vintage books. Sometimes they are... Oh, well, I guess we're going to chop some fly pages off of this one. This one doesn't want to chop. Yeah, see. Okay. I'm just gonna pull a... I say that. I was just gonna pull a Cindy with Studio Lou. She just rips her books out, you know, makes it happen. And of course she keeps all the goodies, which I do too, but let's see if we can keep some of these goodies. Little scrappies. Set that with my bookmarks. Tuck this in here and set that aside for my goodies. Oh, here's the fly pages over here. And I'll go through these guts because the Reader's Digest, if any of you know, they have images. Some of the stories have images that go along with them, so it's some pretty cool vintage images that you can harvest, and then I'll recycle the rest. And by recycle means put them in my recycle bin, and whatever the city does with them is what the city does with them, but I did my part. Okay, well, so since these are turning out to be mostly covers, that's a pretty fly page, then I may change what I'm going to do with them. I was just going to make these size journals. You know, what is it? Was it a 2-inch? Inch and a half spines. I was just going to kind of go with that for my journal size, but what's the deal here? But since I'm ending up with just covers, then that opens up a whole new world of different sizes. I'm kind of excited about that. So I may still, since all these are ending up as covers, this one's our, oof, that one just did not want to deal with it. Didn't even want to hang on. Again, I'm not upset. You know, I'm not going to say they're in bad shape. They're very old and they're dry, and I'm not upset about it. I can still work with these. And the whole point of buying the Reader's Digest is for these cool covers anyway. So, just as long as I can salvage my covers, I'm okay with it. Not upset about it one bit. Are you broken? I think you are. Ooh, yeah, you're really crusty. Like I said, it just kind of makes me shift my. Oof! See how quick that one just peeled off. Just makes me shift my focus a little bit on what I'm going to do with them. And their spines. Last one. I was just saying, he seems to be in shape too, but as soon as I open him, he popped off, so. Again, that's what you get with working with these vintage books. They just are not in the most pristine state. That's okay. Okay, I feel like the place is a mess now. Let me kind of shake this off a little bit. Okay, so we ended up with 8 covers. And again, I'm okay with that. I think I am going to go ahead and make some spines. I'm just going to kind of go with a smaller size. So these are, don't laugh at my math, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 3/4. Okay. I'm working on some cardboard for the spines is what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 3/4. Where's my ruler? Oh, here it is. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and let's get this down a little bit so I can find the little dots. I don't math well, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3/4. Find my dot, find my line, and my ruler shifted. It's okay. But these should be, actually I'm going to trim it down just a little bit. Same exact size as my covers. And again, I'm working on cardboard for the spines is what I'm gonna, yep, perfect. Okay. So, do we want it to be 1-inch spines? So this is 1 inch. So if we had 1-inch books, that would make these little, basically little 1-inch journals. I think I want to do that for at least some of them. So I'm going to make some 1-inch spine strips. Can you guys see what I'm doing, or am I totally off camera over here? Yeah, you can see me. I'm just over to the side. Just hanging out on the side here. Let me scoot over a little bit for you. Not that you really need to see me cutting 1-inch strips of cardboard, but who knows, you might need to see it. I need to see it in action. How about I do 4? That would be half of them. That's what we'll go with, 4. This is just your basic cardboard. It's kind of actually thin cardboard, but we're going to work with it. And like I said, I'll show you basically how I prepare these, and then as I get ready to do them into a journal, I may have some more stabilizing, you know, do more stabilizing on the spine. Okay, so do we want to pick 4 random ones, or let's see here. Let's do this guy. This guy. This guy and the green guy. Okay. For these 4, I'm going to do with the 1-inch. So, this is what we're going to do. So here's my covers. This is my side that the spine was chopped off. And we are making a spine. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and do, I think I'm going to double do these because they are pretty thin and flexible. They're a cardboard, but they're a thin cardboard. You know, you always have to work with, when working on your spines, you always have to determine if it's too thick. You know, you're going to have to poke a needle through that, so you don't want it to get too thick and crazy. Let's go ahead and glue these, and then I'll cut some more real quick before we even get into this. So this will give us a little bit more integrity. Not a whole lot. Set these aside and cut me, what did I say, 2 more, 4 more. Ooh, I almost cut that wrong. Did you see that? I almost cut it like this, which would have shortened me. I'm glad I paid attention to that, because this is our long way. Goodness, I'm kind of tired. Didn't sleep very well last night. But it's the weekend, so I'm just going to work on journals today. Tomorrow, I don't have anything planned either. We're expecting some strong storms this afternoon. It's almost noon now. I had a lunch date planned with a friend of mine, but we bumped it up and had a breakfast date because the storms were coming in, and neither of us like to be out in the middle of storms. especially after this last month's tornado debacle. Not a fan. Would rather be at home. So we ate our breakfast, chatted it up. We talked about all things journal. She's not a journal maker. She's a fellow artist, but our initial plans was to do lunch and then for her to come over here and we were going to work on journals. I was going to kind of give her some, kind of walk her through. She's wanting to do a journal for her granddaughter. That was our initial plan, but since the storms, we decided just to have breakfast so we could see each other and say hi. And so we talked all things journals, even though, again, she's an artist, but she doesn't do journal making yet. We'll convert her soon. I think once she does her first one or two, she may have different thought of that. So, okay, my cardboard is doubled, gives it a little bit more thickness, and here's what we're going to do. Excuse me. This to me is always kind of tricky because everything wants to move on me when it's time to start doing something. So, I tend to get a little thing of washi tape. Oh, hang on, everything started falling when I moved around. Okay, we're back to functioning like we're supposed to. Okay, so I'm gonna get some washi tape and I'm gonna kind of tape this in place so that I can then tape it. I gotta tape it before I can tape it. Does that make sense? So, what you kind of want to do is line up your spine with your covers. You want it to have a little bit of a gap. Not a whole lot of gap, but a little bit of a gap. Because you want it to, see how everybody started moving when I started touching? You want it to be able to fold. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. We're going to do one side at a time. So this is athletic tape. It's a cloth, really super sticky tape. I use this on almost all of my journals, even if I'm just reinforcing a spine. It just makes me feel better to know I have this in my journals. It's super sticky and it's athletic tape, so it doesn't tear easily. So, there we have our first. So as you can see, flip it over so maybe you can see, there's a little bit of a gap there, but that's so we can easily fold and bend, because you want your spine to, want your cover to bend. And the washi tape that I put down is already gone. I mean, it's still there, but you can't see it. So, and we'll do the next one. Laying down with a little bit of washi. Just to keep it in place. And this athletic tape is, I buy mine at the dollar store. That tells you how fancy it is. So you don't have to go get like the fancy brand. You can just pick some up at your local dollar store. And it's okay if you don't get all the way to the edge. It's okay. So, see, our journal is open, close, everything's good, but we're pretty sturdy because we have tape here. Now, excuse me, since I don't know what I'm going to do on my spine yet, because I'm just preparing these journals, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them just yet. My plan is to work on them this weekend, but I haven't decided. So I may put fabric down or whatever, so I'm going to leave the back spine alone. I'm not going to reinforce it with any kind of tape or anything like that, because I may do something to where I don't want my white tape showing. So I'm going to kind of leave this one as is. I could put down another tape in the center if I thought we weren't really sturdy, but I feel pretty confident in this. It lays flat, which means some people see that as a sign of a not strong spine, but it's not. You kind of want your journals to lay flat. So I'm good with this. So that's kind of the first one. We're going to set it aside. Move on to the next one. Make sure we have our covers situated and straight. I may need to trim this guy up a little bit. He's kind of going wonky. Kind of go wonky on me. The cover's got a fold and it's kind of got a lip. So, here's that. We'll open this up. We'll line us up our spine. And I think that's going to work out good. So we'll washi tape one side to get us all, see, I just barely touched it and it moved all wonky on me. Realign, holding us in place. Put the real tape on. I'll cut this edge straight because it's not and it's bothering me. And we will. So I think you guys can see that I'm like half on the spine and half on the cover. Equal coverage on both sides. Press it down in the center to make sure I'm good. And I fold. Into the next side. Scoot you up close. Find you some washi, even though I will say this is a lot of washi just to hold them in place, but he's crooked. Ooh. Washi. Not supposed to tear the paper off, but that's okay. We still like it. Okay. Get the real tape out. I don't know what it is when you get down towards the end of these rolls. They get so super tough and so super sticky. I don't know if it's just because of the way they're cheaply made or what it is, but like my hands have a little stickiness to them. That's a little crooked, but you know, life's a little crooked sometimes, so we're just going to go with that. I think it still works for my spine. Again, I'm not going to do anything on this spine because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't know if I'll cover it in fabric. It is a little crooked. We'll see what happens. I think we'll still work though. And you can always, of course, use your bone folder to kind of seal that in there. But the thing is that it's really not sticking to anything because it's open on this side, so I'm not too stressed about it. Set that one aside and keep on going. I'll do a little hydrate first. Okay. Next in line. Okay. like I said, you don't want to butt all the way up to the spine to the cover because you want to have some flexibility. You want it to be able to open and close and all that. If you butt it up to the spine, you might like cause it to pinch a little bit. And pinching is not fun. So yeah, athletic tape, sports wrap. I'm not exactly sure what all it's called. I'm going to trim this guy down a little bit. He's got a weird overhang. He's trying to get all up in the way. But like I said, you can find it at your local dollar store for $1-ish. Sometimes $1.25. I don't know. It depends on what your store does. But also at the dollar store are these guys. I think these are at the Dollar General, and they're $1, $1.25 or something like that. And they're the reusable blades. Not reusable knife per se, but there's so many blades. You just snap them off when you want a new blade. And I have found that's so much easier to buy these little dollar blades, basically, than to buy a real fancy knife and change out the actual, buy blades and change out the actual blade. So much easier, especially if I'm in the middle of a project and my blade's being all weird. So much easier just to snap it and keep going instead of having to dismantle my knife, change the blade, and do all that craziness. And I know I was using scissors and now I'm using a knife. It just kind of depends. Sometimes I use both. Sometimes it just kind of depends what I'm feeling. Okay, so we have our movable spine here. That's quite a bit of a gap, but we're still going to go with it. Because we don't know what we're going to do with our spine yet. So I don't want to cover it in all this white sports tape, and then us need not big bright white sports tape in the middle of all that, whenever we decide what we're going to do. I'm at the last of the row. Let's see if I can get another strip off of this. And down to the plastic. Plastic roll. Okay. That's pretty good usage. I used all that roll except for this one little bitty piece. That's pretty good. And of course, if I was in the middle of some collage or something like that, I would just stick that in it. But I'm not in that mind frame right now, so that little piece is going in the trash. You can't save everything, so they say. Little do they know how we function. Little do they know how us artists function. Okay. Rapid guy. So yeah, this is a brand new roll. So this shows you how much is on there, which is quite a bit. See how easy it feels when it's first going? When you first get it going, it just feels so easily. My scissors and my knife really don't like to cut it because it's so sticky. But we make do. And I will say this. The newer rolls, like if you feel this piece that I just did is kind of soft and not sticky, but this has a little bit of tackiness to it. No big deal, just the difference in being towards the end of the roll and being towards the beginning of the roll. No big deal. And removable spine. We're good, we're good, we're good. So yeah, that's that. So that took care of, we have spines on 4. And they're just 1-inch spines, and I think I'm going to go with that for now. One thing I also wanted to do while I was on here, so it's where are we at? 35 minutes. Okay. Let's spend the next few minutes kind of cleaning these guys up and see if we can salvage these. They are awfully crunchy. They sound like a bag of chips. My thought process, if we can clean them up, is to turn them into bookmarks. Do some collage over them to where they're not all about Reader's Digest books. So let's just start playing. Let's cut your knife. Cut your line straight, shell. Ooh, they're crunchy. But if we can collage on them and maybe reinforce them with some Mod Podge. I always say that word wrong. Pull off these little extra bits. They're just adding to the crispiness. I think I want to, since he's so crispy down here, I'm going to go ahead and trim him off. Trim him up a little bit. What I'm going to do is just going to make a crunchy bits pile for trash. So yeah, they're a little curved, which is okay, but what we can do is when I run my finger down the middle of them, they don't snap and crackle, so that's good. I think maybe if we collage on them, add a little tassel, seal them somehow, I think they'll make cute little bookmarks. But I'm going to trim them up, and then we can press them down and see what, see if we can make them flat, and see if we can collage on them. This guy is the extra crispy. Maybe trash, but we're going to try. Reduce, reuse, recycle, right? It's weird how these really sound like chips. They're so crunchy. But again, I think he's pretty sturdy once you rub him down the middle. His end pieces are a little crunchy. But I think I'll trim him up a little bit. Like I said, once you get all the excess off, they tend to relax a little bit, maybe. I think these will make some interesting. Like I said, you can collage on. Yeah, I didn't realize how crunchy these guys were, but these books overall. But again, I think they're from the 1970s. That's a good age on these guys. But once I get all the crispy parts, not so bad, not so bad. And to think we almost threw these away. But we salvaged them. Oh, I was gonna say, I don't feel like he's very crispy, but maybe he is. It's actually on the bottoms where they folded over the cover, and so it's got some extra glue. That's probably the crispy part of these. For the actual cardboard that they're picking. Yeah, they don't sound and feel so crispy as opposed to these guys. That's kind of nice. Kind of excited. Break down that crunch. This one feels a little crispier than the others, even than that dark brown one. So he may not survive. But I said that about the... Well, maybe he just needs his top crunches. His bottom crunches. Yeah, I think that's what the issue is where there's glue along the sides and... Oh, he's fragile. Maybe we'll... Just trim it up a bit. And there's no, of course, with bookmarks, there's no rule about what size or... I just like my bookmarks to be super flat. Some people function with those that go over the pages, or I just prefer them to be super flat and almost hidden in my book. I want to have to search for... That's a nice little collage piece if he wasn't so crispy. Oh, and it says, and presumed dead. I'm going to hang on to that little piece just because, you know, I'm weird like that. Everybody else I think is good. We kind of did the same thing. The Flight of the Phoenix. Okay, let's get the sides before we start trying to flatten him out. It's torn at the top. I think we're going to keep him like that though. Playing with crispy, crunchy books makes crispy, crunchy mess. But we can work with that. Okay, well, that just peeled all the way off. That one did too. Again, I think our integrity's here once you get the crunchy bits off. So, now... that broken down, he ended up with 8, I think, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I'm going to lay flat for a little while and get the curve out of them, hopefully, to relax a little bit. Or maybe I should go ahead and collage on them and then flatten them. That's probably what I'll do. So I'm going to make 8 bookmarks, and then we have 4 with 1-inch spines. And we have 4 covers with, we can make variable different sizes of spines. So that's how we broke down 8 Reader's Digest books today. So I'm going to close this up for now, and I will be back with, probably going to play around with these bookmarks first. So I may be back with a video about that. I'm going to eat some lunch and do some chores around here, and then I'll be back. Thanks for joining me as we broke down 8 books to this little stack. It's a beautiful little stack though, so it's a good thing. Anyways, I will see you guys soon.